G'day, just wanted to make a quick one today before I remove a fair bit of plums off. We're about to have another big dump of rain. We've had heaps a couple of days before. I have actually had to, for the first year ever, had to remove one, well actually two now, small areas where I was starting to get a bit of brown rot happening. So I just want to go through and at the moment thin out the clumps, so take out, a couple in between out of every area. So I'll probably be taking nearly half the fruit off. I'll be canning a lot whole, halved. Then the ones that when I go through that are already sort of pruning, there's a good example. I'll be putting them in an area for making jam. A makeshift prop up there. Already did have one branch snap off. Here's some of the brown rot that I'm trying to avoid. So you can see it's very localized there, just to that fruit, the one next to it, and even that one up against it, nothing on it. So obviously I'm getting to it early, but if I left that after this rain, it won't take long, some warm weather, and it'll spread through a fair bit of the tree. Now with that, I will burn that part or get it off the property anyhow, in one way or another. Don't want to chuck it down just below the tree. I mean, I don't even chuck the regular fruit down below the tree because that can attract in fruit flies, all sorts of bugs. I do leave some around, but I have a lot of chickens that'll go through and pick them up. Generally, I'll rake up all the plums off the ground, take them down to the chicken coop. I do compost the leaves of the plum back onto the leaves, obviously, when it all comes down at the dormant time of the year. But if you leave the rotted stuff around, if you have a bug that lands on it, it'll just come back and spread it back around your tree, or in the future, not to mention it can get down and stay in the soil and live for a while. So yeah, I'd highly recommend to remove any diseased pieces of the tree, and best to remove all fruit from below the tree as well. But yeah, anyhow, so far that's the only patch I've found today of the brown rot. The pile's getting bigger and bigger. Quite a lot of jam so far, fair bit for the canning side. I want them to all look fairly good. You don't want to have canned ones floating around with dings and things on it. But it barely looks like I've made a dent. I suppose if there's one point I can get across today is to thin your fruit heavily when you've got a good fruit set like this. Sample one for you. These are my favourite blood plums out of all the plums we've got here. Just give it a polish. It's delicious. It's really nice tasting plum, still firm. Yeah, awesome in jams, awesome fresh. But normally these plums are ready about a fortnight earlier than they were this year, and we're usually eating them over a month period on the tree, so this is pretty abnormal for me to be taking a whole bunch off. But I just feel now that I've found some clusters, more rain coming, it's better to remove them than to have to remove them later and chuck them out because they're not that good. Oh well, have a good day.